Hello everybody, welcome to my channel here. It's Kibith, and you're watching the fourth episode of a global collaboration. Maybe you're asking yourselves what this is about. Well, if you don't know by now, I'm going to make a very short summary, but I think you should go and check out the entire story behind this collaboration. So on a short summary, this is a collaboration between 12 people, 12 YouTubers and streamers, and it's being done with help of the Paradox Interactive, with the help of from Paradox Interactive. There is a big playlist there on the City Skylines YouTube official channel, and you can find all the 3 previous episodes by now, and of course the next ones that will follow me. All these 12 episodes will be released daily, so for 12 consecutive days. Everyone, it's like we are all building one big city from our perspective. And I had the pleasure of continuing what the previous builders did here, and I continued with the American theme style. And I was looking on Google Earth and to see what shall I do, because it's the first time ever when I do an American theme style city. Yes, so be gentle with me guys, because I never ever did this before up until now. Hope I managed to nail it out as much as possible. But I found a nice and cool old train track going through the city, which is abandoned. It's filled with ivy, grass, all kind of weeds and whatnot, and I found it very interesting. And plus, I never did that. Nevertheless, it is American or any other style. So I went to taking this one, and it turned out pretty well, to be honest. Because it's surrounded by a residential area, some little businesses like a warehouse and whatnot. But you know what? You can watch and you can see this along with me through my time lapse here. The little thing that I want to mention is that there is not a particular LUT or map theme that we all keep. Maybe the map theme it's kind of similar, but the LUT, everyone used its own LUT, and so if you watch all the videos, you for sure you are going to see a big difference on the settings, on the visual settings. So yeah, don't ask too much about that, because everyone has its own point of view and take on this. Anyways, let's go and talk about 3 minutes later. Let's talk about this build here. So I've been using some very old embankments made by Journable. They are like since the beginning on the workshop out there, and I wanted to use those because they were kind of very similar to the ones from real life, brick style, red bricks been using there. I'm adding a train track that doesn't have any more. I mean, you can only see the tracks, the metal tracks, and nothing else. And I'm adding also here some bushes, trees, and because someone thought to, because we are using the mode with unlimited trees, I had to find a different, let's say, take on the bushes and trees, because as you can probably know by now, you cannot plop or raise trees and bushes from the ground if you have the unlimited trees mode, because the tree snapping mode is not working. It's incompatible with that one. So happily I had this new mode that automatically transforms all the vehicles and trees into props. And because that's possible, I could have added all these as props on top of this, but I went for turning them into procedural objects as well, which is turned out pretty cool actually. So most of the times you're gonna see, well, actually not most of the times. You are going to see me plopping them down lots of times, but most of them will be done off camera. I'm going to cut them out on the timelapse because I don't want to keep something doing over and over again. Here I'm adding some ivies on some sides. Again, this is abandoned, not going to be working anymore. If you saw at the beginning, I start this from the new train track, because that's how it is in real life too. There is a new train track, and right next to it is the old one, like this one. And probably, if you ask me, probably they said, hey, we are not going to use these tracks anymore. Maybe they didn't want to go with the train through the district itself here, or maybe, who knows? You know what? There might be lots of stories behind these train tracks. I will never know those. If you're asking, okay, I just did that. Probably you already saw some lights pole coming through these old train track. Well, I got rid of them. Thankfully, we have a mod that allows us to do so. And so yeah, it is quite a very interesting project that we all did here. I believe most of you guys were already expecting and hoping for a big collaboration between many YouTubers and streamers, because it's quite interesting when you see these kind of builds. You know, because we are 12 people, you are going to see 12 different approaches, maybe 12 different styles, even different city styles, like some build European style, some build American style and whatnot. But yeah, I kinda everyone was kinda expecting this. Probably I was actually one of those expecting for this kind of collaboration, and Paradox made it happen. So let's be happy and enjoy it, right? For sure, I kinda did. The first thing I did when I went on the map was to check what the previous 3 builders did on the map, because I was curious, and I saw some really cool stuff. Again, I'm kind of encouraging you right now to go and watch their builds. Anyways, so this is me taking the build of some residential buildings. I've been using the Brooklyn ones, really cool ones, builds. Finally, I managed to use those, even though I think I've used just tiny bits of them in other cities of mine, because they are kind of, let's say, you could have some of them easily think they are also a bit Europeanish, maybe, I think. Anyways, so finally I got a chance to do this, and I'm pretty happy with my results in the end. For me, it seems a bit American if I had to compare it with some aerial map, Google Earth views with the American cities. I even added here a little baseball field. I found it more appropriate than a soccer or football field. And so yeah, I'm trying to add as many areas with greens, trees, and weeds, just to fill here near the train tracks, because they look very abandoned, to be honest. And it went out pretty cool, if you ask me. I'm using also different type of buildings made by Smiles, for instance. They are, of course, not American-ish, that American, I think. Maybe I'm saying a stupid thing. You know what? I'm taking back what I just said. But for me, it looked and went. Yeah, they look pretty American if you think about it. I'm also using some parking lots that they fit pretty well here as well. Yeah, they are actually Japanese style, and I like the fact that they work as I think they are commercial areas, buildings, because actually people come there to yeah, buy stuff for themselves, but also they park their cars. So these parking lots, these Japanese parking lots, they are really smart done by their creator, because again, you attract people somehow because there is a commercial thing building there, but also people were gonna park their cars. So it's pretty interesting. I've been also using some old factories. I'm trying to add as many graffiti on the walls, many old things. I took inspiration from a city from US, and I've tried to keep it, let's say, as much as possible in that particular way. And the results, well, I'm happy with the result. I don't know, I keep saying that I'm happy with the result. Sorry for saying this over and over again, but it's just me being a bit happy for doing this American build first time ever. Continuing here, I'll try to add as many possible little details near some buildings. Of course, beside these big graffitis, I'm trying also to add some little things like parking areas, cracks, damaged decals, stains and whatnot, just to keep it more into the American style. Lots of concrete. I know in US you can find lots and huge parking lots, and I've tried to add those as many as possible too. It's honestly, it's really nuts when you think about it, because in Europe we don't have so many parking lots. We are kind of suffering, yeah, it's really bad when you have to find one. Nowadays, lots of countries are trying to just build underground parking lots or elevated ones, because we have to keep the old style of the city. You know, there is a history behind it, and it's kind of sad to just destroy some buildings to build parking lots. So yeah, the only way to do so, it's either to just add it on the sidewalks, on the road sides, or just create new ones underground, which are quite expensive and actually not that often you can find them in the cities. Anyways, this I went for like a side of the area with smaller residential buildings and the other side of the area with taller buildings, thinking like maybe this is more dense area. Plus I've been using not only the Brooklyn ones, but again some other style buildings as well. I've been adding some basketball courts, fields there, here and there, just because I felt we need some sport fields too. And going with some again some little warehouses, old factories, old shops, and things like that. By the way, as you can see here, there is a road with those tram tracks. God damn it, they are so beautiful. After I saw these in this collaboration, I've been subscribing to them also and using now them in my other series, because they are actually pretty awesome. I honestly think they are amazing. So I'm so glad I actually checked out this collection that we have here, because I kind of found some really cool assets that I had those in my collections, but I never used those. So I'm glad to find these. We have a beautiful girl here as a graffiti added on the end of the train tracks here, and we are getting very close to the end of the time lapse. The cinematics will we have some cinematics at the end as well, but I think you guys should definitely check out all the videos done by now, and of course the next one. So again, there will be an episode released on every creator's YouTube channel. And it is being released at 4 p.m. Central European Summer Time. There is a playlist on Paradox Interactive's YouTube channel, the City Skylines main YouTube channel. And the next episode, and the next will be of course tomorrow, and that one will be on BS Quickelhausen's YouTube channel. Oh my god, I can't believe it. I pronounced it well from the start. I was I was nervous because I usually never nail I never say his name right. Hopefully I did it this time. So yeah, you should go and check that out too. But guys, I want to say thank you for watching this. If you are new to my channel, you can subscribe just to watch more City Skylines videos. I have plenty of them and plenty of them coming. If you are enjoying this, you can also hit that like button because it's going to be appreciated, and a comment as well. But guys, thank you for watching. See you in my next videos. Until then, take care, stay safe, and I salute you.